Today, we're going to look at a theory that says our history books have it all wrong, that they're missing a huge chapter, one that doesn't take place on Earth, but way out there, among the stars. Let's get into it.
Now, this isn't just some clever line. It's really a warning. We're about to seriously question the entire timeline of human history we've all been taught. The official story? It's not just incomplete. It might be totally wrong.
Just let that sink in for a minute. What if our journey to the stars didn't start with the Apollo missions or Sputnik, but thousands, maybe even millions of years ago? It changes everything, right? Okay, let's unpack this.
So, where do we even begin? Well, our first clue, it comes from a collection of objects that, by all accounts, simply shouldn't exist. They're like whispers of a technology from a future that happened in our distant past. You know, when archaeologists are digging, they expect to find pottery, stone tools, that kind of thing. But every now and then, they find something else. We're talking about artifacts machined with a precision that we'd struggle with today, designed using mathematical principles that weren't supposed to have been discovered for centuries. I mean, take the Antikythera mechanism. It's basically a 2,000-year-old analog computer. How is that even possible? And it's not just that. Look at ancient carvings from all over the world. You see figures wearing what look for all the world like helmets, sitting inside capsules, being pushed by what really look like rockets. Look, one weird artifact is just a curiosity. But when you see the same patterns repeating across different continents and cultures, you have to start asking, what's going on here?
Okay, so the obvious question, right? If there was some super advanced civilization, where are their cities? Where are the ruins? And that brings us to the next piece of this puzzle. Our own planet is an expert at wiping the slate clean.
This timeline really puts things into perspective. Earth's been around for 4.5 billion years, and us, Homo sapiens, we are that tiny, tiny sliver at the very end. A civilization that existed, say, even just 1 million years ago, their cities would be dust, ground down by ice ages, swallowed by shifting continents, erased by erosion. Our planet is the ultimate evidence shredder. And this is the absolute key. It means we might have been looking in completely the wrong place. If a civilization was smart enough to reach for the stars, they were definitely smart enough to know that nothing they built on Earth would last. So if you want to leave a message, a real legacy, you wouldn't leave it here. You'd leave it up there, in the silent, unchanging void of space.
So if the proof isn't on Earth, then where is it? Well, the most logical place to look is right next door, in the one place where time practically stands still, our moon.
Think about it. The moon is the perfect time capsule. There's no air, no water, no weather, nothing. A footprint, a rover track, a mining operation, anything left there would stay perfectly preserved for millions of years. It's like a crime scene that's been left completely undisturbed.
And this is where it gets really unsettling. We have photos of the lunar surface showing things that are hard to explain. Structures with perfect right angles, grid-like patterns that stretch for miles, trenches that look more dug than formed naturally. Now, the official explanation is always it's just tricks of light and shadow, random geology. But when you look at the patterns, they just feel disturbingly deliberate, purposeful.
The next clue isn't something carved into rock or sitting on the moon. It's something that was passed down through generations, hidden in plain sight, an absolutely baffling knowledge of the stars.
Ancient cultures all over the world made these star maps that are just staggeringly accurate. They mapped out stars you literally cannot see without a decent telescope. They calculated the orbital cycles of planets with a precision that rivals our own. Some even seem to know about binary star systems, where two stars orbit each other. The question is, how? How in the world did they know any of that?
So you have to wonder about the real reason for these maps. The standard answer is, they used them to navigate the oceans. And sure, that makes sense, but does it explain this level of detail, all this incredibly complex data? Was it really for sailing ships, or was it for navigating the much, much bigger oceans between the planets? All right, let's pull back for a second and put these pieces together. We're not just looking at a few strange carvings or some old maps anymore. What's emerging is a profile of a civilization that didn't just have the technology to go to space, but maybe a very good reason to do it. When we look at ancient ruins, we tend to see temples, tombs, and palaces. But what if they were also machines? We see massive structures perfectly aligned with the Earth's geomagnetic fields. We see chambers that seem built to harness acoustic energy, maybe for levitation. We see what look like hints of a global energy grid. This wasn't just architecture.
This looks like a mastery of physics we're only just starting to rediscover.
When you lay it all out, the progression seems almost inevitable. Step 1. You master the stars. Check. Step 2. You figure out how to power your world with planetary energy. Check. Step 3. You draw a detailed map of your cosmic neighborhood. Check. So, what's the last logical step? You go. You leave. For a species that advanced, getting off a geologically unstable rock isn't just an adventure, it's the ultimate survival plan.
And this is where it all comes together. This is the final twist, where this ancient mystery crashes right into some of the biggest unexplained phenomena of our own time.
Suddenly, things start to look very different. All those thousands of UFO sightings, the unexplained aerial phenomena. And what about all those stories, the myths from every single ancient culture about powerful gods who came down from the sky in fiery chariots?
What if we've been getting the story completely backward? What if the answer to all of this has absolutely nothing to do with beings from another planet? What if they're us? Or at least they were us, humans from a lost chapter of our own history, our own ancestors who left this planet eons ago and just kept on going?
It's a pretty profound thought, isn't it? The very future we're dreaming of, becoming a truly spacefaring species, might be a road our own human family already traveled a long, long time ago.
And that leaves us with one final haunting thought. Maybe we're not alone in the universe. Not because aliens exist, but because our own family is still out there. And you just have to wonder, maybe they're waiting for us to finally find our way back home.
If you enjoyed this journey, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel for more space adventures, and share this video if you liked it.